1, 2, 3, 4. What up, y'all? Babylon 5 Podcast, episode 89 till infinity. And today I got some tunes that are sure to rock your socks. So no more babbling from your faithful host, Jermaine Event. Ladies and gents, niggas and bitches, I present to you, the Grump.
What up with y'all? Yeah, I was thinking before, I was like, should I put a preview of the album, The Grump, on the album? And I was starting to record, starting to just start the episode. I was like, fuck, why don't I just throw in the fucking intro? So I was like, yeah, that'll be the preview for you guys. If you listen to the podcast, go ahead and give you guys social medias. But this is episode 49. I was either going to call this They Don't Care About Us or The Grump, or maybe Thank You. I had a few things. Probably The Grump, because my album's coming out on Tuesday. If you didn't know that, The Grump by Jermaine Event. It'll be out Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys social medias. If you want to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. If you want to follow my personal account, it's at My Name's Jermaine. You can email this podcast at Babylon5podcasts@gmail.com. And you can follow this podcast at babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, nigga, pretty much anywhere podcast stream. If you niggas got Xbox One, go ahead and add a brother. Gamer tag is SauceBoss414. You can watch me play with myself at twitch.tv/Babylon5. You can check out the merchandise at teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. And don't be my Negro, be my patron. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5pod. Be my patron. I was just about to geek out because I was like, does anybody even understand what I'm referencing there? And maybe I'm gonna just spray this real quick so I can breathe for y'all. Doing it live. Ain't got nothing to hide. This nasal spray. Change the nigga live. Uh-oh. That's $1 million record right there. But when I say don't be my Negro, be my patron, you know, that's coming from, if you've seen that scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin with Kevin Hart, when Kevin Hart was like an unknown dude, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna need that warranty for the price of on the house. And Romany Malco's character is like, that I cannot do. And Kevin Hart's like, yo, don't be my Negro, be my nigga. You know? so, you know, don't be my Negro, be my patron. You feel me? Don't be like that. Be my patron. That's all I'm trying to tell you niggas. But how's your week been? I don't want to go too far without asking how your week's been. I hope it's been great. Hope it's been better than the previous week. Hope things are positive for everybody, man. I hope if things were looking dark, maybe there's some change. You're starting to see some light. You know what I'm saying? The end of that tunnel. That's what I'm hoping. You know. I'm doing okay. You know, I told you guys last week what was going on with me. I think I'll be all right. You know, pretty much got a new job like right away. I don't know if I mentioned that last time. I don't remember, but yeah, got hired like right away. I like panicked, like applied at like 1,000 places, and then it was like, fuck, I actually have a lot of shit on my resume, and niggas was calling me back like, yo, bro, you for real did all this shit? Like, yup, I'm that nigga. I was like, did you, because I said to the nigga, I was like, yeah, I've done this shit over here and over there. And he's like, oh, you've already done it? I'm like, yeah, it says it right, like, on my resume. He's like, oh, shit, send me another copy. We can set this interview up tomorrow. I'm like, yeah. We could do that. We could do all that. But I was like, fuck. Nigga, fuck. I don't know why Panic hit up all these places. It was like, nigga, everybody hit you back. So I'm gonna be alright. The Grump is here, ladies and gentlemen. As I said before, the Grump is here. I'm happy to be here. Happy to have something out. You know, if you're listening to this on Monday, it won't be out. You'll have that sneak preview intro track right there. You got that sneak preview intro track. So don't say I ain't give you nothing. I gave you something before. Act like I ain't give you nothing before. If you a real podcaster, if you was really listening to these podcasts, I snuck in Can I long before I dropped it for the world. I gave you Can I. As a little bonus track. You know, I remember just all the favorite tracks back in the day when you get the disc. Like, I didn't always know what the track length was, but I always would, like, make it a point to listen to the whole album, so I wouldn't skip anything. So it'd be, like, just nothing but silence. And you might start to think, like, oh, maybe the CD stopped. But you look at your CD player and it hasn't stopped. It's just still counting. Then all of a sudden, and I wear my sunglasses at night. You know what I'm saying? You listen to that Ludacris and that 2 Chainz, that sunglasses at night song. I wear my sunglasses at night. That shit, 2 Chainz went off on there. 2 Chainz been getting off. I don't know why I started hating on 2 Chainz. I just be doing that. When 2 Chainz was underground, I fucked with 2 Chainz hard. And then I started hating when he went mainstream. For no reason, he's still getting off. He's still cold, one of the coldest mainstream niggas out. It's like one of the only mainstream niggas I really listen to. Like that. I don't know what's mainstream anymore. Like, as I was trying to say, like, I thought new rappers were J. Cole, like, a couple years ago. It was like, well, I haven't listened to rappers since then. Like, none of the new rappers. I was like, all right, yeah, this is a good year. I'm gonna stick with this year. Y'all did a good one. It's a good year. Yeah, we out here. If you listen to this on Monday, if it's past Monday, go to the streaming services. Definitely go to SoundCloud. It will definitely be on initial, like, SoundCloud, like, at midnight Tuesday. Maybe it won't be on the other services. Because when I think I uploaded it maybe on the 1st or some shit like that, or maybe, like, right before the 1st. Maybe, I don't know. But it was, like, right within the 4-week span, so there was just a little holdup on the art. So, like, that's why, if maybe y'all saw that I initially had the release date for July 21st, but then I pushed it back, hoping that, I was thinking that I would be able to get the cover in order to push it back, if I pushed it back one more week. And then at that point, I was like, maybe I should push it back one more week just to make sure. But if not, I was like, fuck it. It'll just be on SoundCloud, and y'all niggas can run that up if you want to. You know? Go ahead and run up that SoundCloud if you want to. I'm cool with that. I'm very fine with that, actually. I don't know what the difference is between SoundCloud numbers and Spotify numbers. I don't know the difference, but that's just what it is. I wanted to thank people. I wanted to say some thank yous to those involved with this album here. You know, if I could just take some time here. I'm gonna just say my thank yous. All right. Here we go. First off, thank you, my lovely, lovely wife, Sarah, for making a phenomenal cover. I mean, it really captured the essence of the album, and it wouldn't be as fantastic without it. It's really perfect. Thank you, Denio Black, who took the photo that's used for my cover. It's a pretty old photo, but it worked perfectly for me and Mike Regal's project. Thank you, Andrew Jambura, a.k.a. Andy Action, a.k.a. Dr. Drew. I made that last one up, but I think it fits perfectly. Thank you. Thank you, Mike Regal, for just being a genius with his production. Everything worked out so greatly. It sounds phenomenal, and I couldn't have done it without him. Thank you, Sam Mergani, for helping me with a visual for Can I when he had no reason to. It's fucking phenomenal. It's at like probably over 8,000 views right now. It's crazy. Thank you, everyone who enjoyed Can I, everyone who enjoyed Feel Like No One and liked my post, shared the video to all their friends and thieves. To see, thank you. It's fucking humbling. Thank you so much. I'm gonna stop this. I was like way before the end of that, I was like, fuck. Am I gonna really commit to this? And it's like, I have to. Let me just get through it. I started it, so we're gonna get through it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, man. It is fucking humbling to see everybody show so much love, you know. I come from a city where we gets no love, you know. Brew City. Crack a bottle, let me smoke, 'cause we gets no love. Brew City, you know. But it's honestly really humbling that everybody's showing love. They've been enjoying my homemade video for Feel Like No One. If you guys haven't seen that, go ahead and peep that on YouTube. I put out a video for my song Feel Like No One. I fucking love that song. So I was like, I just gotta give them this before the album comes out. And yeah, that was me giving it to you. People are fucking with it, even though it's like, we shot it on my wife's iPhone. I use her iPhone. And we just shot it in the apartment. And, I had my gi. And, one of my gis. And, another scene where I had my Diet Clorox hoodie. And then, another one where I was just standing in front of my soundproofing curtain in the studio with my puka shells. I was Puka Germ. Puka Germ came out in the video. Y'all ain't see Puka Germ came out in the video. So, like, if you ain't seen the video, Puka Germ came out. Nigga, y'all ain't even seen Puka Germ yet, alright? Puka Germ came out in the Feel Like No... Puka Germ had to come out in the Feel Like No One video. I went off and Feel Like No One, alright? You ain't done nothing if Puka Germ ain't come out yet. You know what I'm saying? You ain't done nothing yet. But it's, yeah, I put out the video for Feel Like No One. People were feeling that. I mean, the song's fire, so I felt like even if the video sucked, the quality would make up for it. In the same, like, vein of, like, Moo. Like, the Moo video isn't necessarily a good video, but the song is so fire. The song is really good. And so it made up for it. So I was like, as long as I do a halfway decent job just piecing these scenes together, trying to get the lips to match the words, it'll be received well. And it has been. So thank you guys so much for that. I just wanted to explain, if I haven't already on this podcast, maybe I have, but since we're here, just want to go ahead and talk about this song here. It's called, well, this track, it's called Hey, Aunt Jemima. And given the current climate, I feel like I should have done a little more explaining on this song. Or on the skit. It's not a song. It's just like, well, my idea of it, the way I saw it when I recorded, I could have done a lot. I could have used a lot more words. Where that, you know, if you've ever seen the Vince Staples interview where he's talking about like he's not freestyling for no radio fucking DJ, no radio stations. He's like, I got a whole album here that I'm trying to eat off of, and you want me to just like rap off these beats? Like, it's like, unless you're Sway, I'm not rapping, and even if I do it, then like it's gonna be a angry 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel, and I don't know. It gets to the point of this whole like, oh, you're a rapper, we'll do it right now then, and like just put on this show. I feel like it's just this whole put on this show right now. It's just like coonery to me, honestly. Feels like coonery, and straight buccoonery, and and so so the fact that I feel like just that whole like, we'll do it right now then, that whole aspect of it, even though it's like, when, you know, as Vince said, like, man, I got a whole album right here. Like, you know, I have a whole album here that I'm trying to eat off of, but here I am right now, and I got to give you a 16. So, like, the skit is like, all right, we got Jermaine, it's Battle on 5 podcast, we got Jermaine Event here in studio, why don't you sing a song for us? And it's like, dude, and that's all I say before I sing this Aunt Jemima song. And given the current climate, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know how this is going to be received by the masses. I don't know how the masses is going to receive it. They're going to feel like I love massa. I'm sound like a house nigga, maybe. I don't know. But that's not my intention. My intention was the fact that the whole thing was buccoonery. The whole interaction is buccoonery. And I remember we were coming off, it was either before Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder or right after, or it could have been the exact day. I know I was going to record Bread. I had just wrote Bread. And like, on my way there, we went past this thing that said like Delilah. And the tune of Hey There Delilah popped in my head. And I was talking to my cousin Abdul about, well, he was talking about like, oh yeah, he was saying like, like I don't want to be black because I was rooting for Tyson Fury. And I'm just like, dude, Deontay Wilder can't box. Like, and, but he was saying that, and when I saw it, and I think it was like February, and it's just like, whew, me being the quick comedian that I am, like right there on the way to the studio, I wrote, hey, Aunt Jemima. But it's really in my mind, like, the idea of this skit is that the whole thing is buccoonery. It's just straight buccoonery. And I don't know if it'll be received well. But if it's not, refer to this moment right here in the podcast where I'm telling you that, like, that's what I was trying to get across. But at the same time, I didn't understand, like, that maybe there would be, like, a bigger lens on this project. Seems like way more people are paying attention right now than I anticipated. You know, I've put out music before. I put out music last summer to no avail. But now niggas is fucking with it. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really know. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, I guess people would hit me up like back in the day because I'm like always putting out this podcast. I'm always like posting on Instagram, like posting random shit that people randomly think is cool right now. But it's like it's always been out there. Like, so it seems like I'm doing something. Maybe that's the case. I think that's what it is. It seems like I'm doing something. But yeah, so I just felt like I wanted to just touch on that real quick. My niggas. So yeah, that's the Grump's coming out July 28th. Jermaine event, the Grump. Fucking phenomenal. Produced entirely by Mike Regal. Recorded, mixed, and mastered at Silver City Studios by Andrew Jimbora, a.k.a. Andy Action, a.k.a. Dr. Drew. Yeah. And I'm happy to give it to you guys. Moving on. All right? We're moving on. All right? We're going to talk about, as I said to you niggas last week, Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 62. Are we going to talk about that? No, we're not talking about it. We don't need to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kanye West, actually. Let's talk about Kanye West. Fuck, dude. He might be tweeting right now. Let's just take a look. So the other day, Kanye West had his first presidential rally, right? It's pretty random. I didn't watch it. He had it on Sunday when I was recording, and when I got out of recording, I was like, fuck, Kanye just had a rally. I could have talked about it. Or actually, I think it happened before I recorded, and I was like, damn, I should have saw it. And we could have talked about it, but I'm glad I didn't talk about it. So he had his first rally, and he talks about how someone asked him his stance on abortion. He talks about how he and Kim almost aborted their firstborn child, North. And he's crying on stage. And yeah, it's just like he revealed a lot in that rally about like just how he wanted her to abort his daughter North and all this shit, and then like how his dad almost like wanted him aborted and yeah all this shit. The world went crazy mainly because he said like Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves, she just took them to work for other white people, which like the brother Rizza Islam was saying that yes, she did take them to work for other white people, but at that point they were paid workers and not slaves, and there were no black-owned businesses at the time, like given the fact that these are fucking runaway slaves, like there was no like, or not many in the area, black-owned businesses. So, yes, they went to work for white people for a wage as a free person, is what the brother Islam was trying to say. And he was pointing out, like, that people should not be so quick to react to the things he says because he hasn't been the same since his mom died. I mean, everybody knows that. And they put him on an involuntary, hold. In 2016, if you guys remember, they put Ye on a hold. And he said, like, when they do that, they put the nigga on, like, psychotropic drugs and fucking did electroshock therapy. And how it just changes you forever. And it's just, like, a whole thing, man. Like, but in the midst of it all, Ye, like, dude, Ye's going off. He's calling Kris Jenner, Kris Jong-un, going on a rant about how Kim will never sell their daughter's sex tape and all this shit. He's going off. He said he wanted to divorce Kim. He's been trying to divorce Kim for the last year since he found out she met up with Meek Mill in a hotel or some shit like that. Like, Meek Mill responded like, yo, that shit is all cap. Cap is like so funny to me. I don't know. It's just crazy to me how lingo gets spread. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm the kind of person where it's like you're wearing, like, I don't know. It's like if everybody's wearing like a cheese head on this night at this place, I would show up in like all black or something because I'm not gonna do it just because everybody's doing it. That's a pretty dumb thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I got on that tangent. But how did I get on that tangent? Chris Jong-un? I don't know. I lost it. Come home, yay. Come home, yay. Yeah, so he went on rants calling her Chris Jong-un. He was saying he's trying to divorce her. Oh, Cap. So Cap, that's how I got on that. Niggas said it was Cap. Because I think that's funny because it's like, yo, you just see niggas posting or you hear another nigga say it. Now everybody's saying Cap. Like, why? Why are you repeating these words? Like, it's not cool. You guys aren't cool for repeating it. It just sounds silly. I mean, maybe I am clearly overthinking it. This is me. This is how I do things. This is how I do it, nigga. And I'm overthinking it clearly here. But I just think it sounds silly. Like, all right, now I just heard him and like a million other people say it. At this point, anybody else that says it, like, you're basically saying getting jiggy with it. At this point, getting jiggy with it needs a comeback. Niggas is about to get jiggy with it. Like, that's the next episode. Episode 50, getting jiggy with it, if I remember. I don't know, probably won't. I should maybe take a note. But, come home, yay. Come home, yay. He immediately announced in the midst of all this drama that he was going to drop an album that he said was going to drop Friday. But then Taylor Swift announced that she was dropping an album, and then he never dropped his album. Like, she dropped her album she announced she was going to drop her album the same night, and he was like, nah. Because he wants to be number one when he releases. So he was like, nah. But he didn't drop the album. And but he's talking about divorcing Kim. Said she was trying to 5150 this nigga, trying to bring a doctor to have him committed. Man, he's talking about he's trying to divorce her. All I'm saying is, come home, yay. Come home, yay. You're almost home. Oh, they want me to fall, so far from the top. They want me to drop, I'm already gone. Tell them, come home, yay. Come home, yay. That's what we need. You know what's some bullshit that I saw? Damn, I'm breezing through this. Maybe we'll do a quick episode today. I don't know. But I'm breezing through this. Maybe I did need that Dragon Ball fucking part. But we're not doing it. We're not doing it. So we got Mike Tyson taking on Roy Jones Jr. September 12th in an 8-round heavyweight fight. It's an exhibition. So I think Roy Jones is 51 and Mike Tyson is 54. Both these niggas just like were getting their asses beat, knocked out cold in their last few fights. Not interested in seeing that fight. I don't want either one of them to suffer another knockout, any kind of organ damage, kind of liver failure from a Mike Tyson punch to the, or like, you know, he just fucking kidney. He give you a fucking kidney shot. A nice hook to the kidney. These old men who were getting their asses beat in their last few fights, knocked out cold, I'm not interested in seeing it. It's a sideshow at this point. And then you throw in Nate Robinson. NBA veteran Nate Robinson is fighting YouTuber Jake Paul on the undercard. I think them niggas is really gonna fight, but like, why? Why? Like now, like it was already a joke with these old ass niggas who were getting knocked out cold in their last few fights. Like Mike Tyson started working out, and people are like, "Yeah, he's coming back," and I'm like, "No, he got knocked out viciously last time. Do y'all not remember when he was getting beat up? He already came back when he was younger. He came back when he was younger, like 10 years ago, and got knocked out by nobodies. I couldn't guess the names of the people who knocked him out. Maybe John Smith, that could be the name. It's just some random white dude knocking out Mike Tyson. Are you out of your mind? You're about to pay money to see this fucking... Do you know the names of the people who knocked out Roy Jones Jr.? No. But he fucking fell flat on his face. Collapsed, arms all over the place, flopping. Y'all about to pay money for that shit? This better be a free fight. I haven't seen it announced. But don't show me this nigga working out and hitting pads. Show me the footage of their last fights, man. That's what we need to be seeing. If you're trying to think about if you should pay for this fight. I guess it's not even like... I'm not talking about like I'm trying to like downsell this fight. But I'm trying to like... I think people should be real with the audience here about what they're possibly paying for here. Possibly a fucking death. What happened with Dada 5000 and fucking Kimbo Slice? Did Kimbo die after that fight? I'm sure one of them died right after that fight. Like that fight happened and one of them went to the hospital and died. Like, they're too old to be in that situation. And these men have been viciously KO'd. I guess Roy Jones much more recently than Mike Tyson, because like 10 years ago when Mike Tyson came back, he was getting knocked out when he was younger. I don't know. I hope Nate Robinson whoops this Jake Paul dude, though. I just fucks with Nate Robinson, and I don't really know who Jake Paul is other than he's a YouTuber, apparently. He's been fighting those other black YouTubers, right? I think those other black guys are YouTubers. I don't watch niggas who post videos, just random videos on YouTube, pranking in the hood, and it's like we're just walking up to black people. Like, I don't watch shit like that. It's pretty gross. I mean, I would see the titles and then I'd click it, and like back in the day, and it'd be like in the hood, and I'm like, are they actually gonna go to the hood? And no, it's like there's just people walking, and then here's a black person, and like, let me harass this black person, and then we're gonna call the video pranking in the hood. So I don't care about any of the other shit if you do shit like that. I could be wrong about this Paul guy, because as I'm saying, I don't think I've ever seen any of his videos. I'm thinking about that, maybe, is it the Vitali dude? Fatucci guy? That guy? I think he would do things like that. There'd be a lot of YouTubers just like that. I mean, if you do something and you just YouTube search in the hood, you'll see a bunch of bullshit ass videos where I seen where like they went to a basketball court once. It's like, nigga, this is, I don't know. It's just some nonsense. So, UFC Fight Island 3, which I don't understand why it's not 4. It's the 4th card, but I guess one of them was a pay-per-view, so that can't be the 4th card or the first Fight Island card. Anywho, so I didn't write a lot of notes about the night. I just wanted to write about the fights that I thought were interesting, or just certain individuals that I thought stood out. There's this guy, Khamzat Chimaev. And this guy, ladies and gentlemen, is a fucking monster. All right? People were comparing him to Khabib. I think, like, the way he goes about his ground and pound, he's more vicious. Like, I feel like Khabib, like, he'll tie up the legs and kind of, like, hold you in that spot and, like, just, like, pepper you with shots. I mean, he's got some heavy, like shots in there, but not, like, super heavy. But he can hurt you. But the way Khamzat, he gets you to that he gets you on the ground, he's gonna mount you, and he's throwing bombs. All right, he's throwing bombs in there. He was not like it was. I think it was a different level of veracity in there, man. This man looks like a beast, and he set the record for turnaround victories. 10 days, 2 victories out of his last two opponents. The first opponent, 10 days prior, was able to land 2 strikes in the entire fight. And then in the fight last night, he was not able to land a single strike. This dude's a fucking monster. He fought at 185 10 days prior, and then fought at 170 last night. He usually fights at 170, but he said last night, like, it doesn't matter, like, 170, 185, like, give me the champion at each weight class, and I'll smash them both. So, this dude, he looks like a fucking problem. I don't know, it's like, do you think, I mean, he's bigger than Khabib, slightly. I mean, how tall is Khabib? Khabib's like 6'1", if I'm not mistaken. I think Khamzat is only 6'2". Because they were saying, like, oh, yeah, he's just a bigger Khabib. Yeah, he's 6'2". I could be wrong. Maybe Khabib isn't 6'1", but I thought he was pretty tall. Oh, Khabib's only 5'10". Why did I think he was so much taller than Conor? That's weird. This whole time I thought Khabib was like super tall. I thought he was like a giant in the division. And like I thought that was part of the reason why he was so dominant. Like he was so much bigger than everybody. But if he's only 5'10", then he's just a monster. He's not that big. Damn. That is not a factor. Damn. He's just that much better than everybody. That's fucking crazy. But Khamzat seems even on a fucking whole other... I mean, he's finishing these motherfuckers. Khabib will beat you down to a decision. I mean, unless he can get those submissions in on you, he'll go for some submissions. But Khamzat will go for some submissions, but he's just all over you, man. Just complete domination, all right? Domination, dude. He's a beast, and they say he's probably going to fight at the next pay-per-view in 2 weeks. He's going to have another fight in 2 weeks because he took 2 strikes over the last last 2 fights in 10 days. And he took those 2 strikes in the first fight. So, yeah, he's about to fight again on the pay-per-view. I'd like to see him fight Vettori. Vittori's out here talking about nobody wants to fight. Fight Khamzat. Khamzat said 185, 170. He doesn't care. Fight Vettori. I'd love to see that fight. If you wouldn't like to see that fight, you're lying to yourself. But he calls out Kamaru and Israel. I'm a fan of this guy. His star has risen. Khamzat looks like a beast. I don't think it would be too possible without Khabib leading the way. Just those Russian fighters, they all look pretty similar. So, like, when you see him, you think of Khabib, and then he goes in there, mauls you, and just is like the Khabib style. Khabib made it popular. Khabib's one of the most popular fighters right now. And now he's like a new Khabib. They call him Khabib 3.0 is what I think Ali called him, the manager, Ali. He's hype, man. I'm excited. His teammate fought later on in the card. Alexander Gustafsson fought Fabricio Verdum. And I'm pretty sure I predicted this last week in the episode, but Verdum submitted Gustafsson in the very first round via armbar. And he just has no jiu-jitsu. Like, he did it again. Like, he'll fight. Like, John Jones said, like, he'll do this thing where, like, he'll fight the initial, like, takedown. And then after that, he'll maybe, like, try to run. And then he'll just give up his back. But at that point, he just kind of gives up at that point and tries to survive. And that's what he did again here. And he tried to get away from the clinch, gave up his back, then tried to break Fabricio Verdum's grip, couldn't break it, and just kind of like gave up. Was just on the ground like fighting this armbar until he could not, and he tapped out. And first round, that's what I thought would happen. That's what I thought. Then in the main event, you had Darren Till taking on Robert Whittaker. I predicted a draw. I felt like it was a draw. Like at the end of that, it went the whole 5 rounds. Somehow, judges gave a unanimous decision to Robert Whittaker. I did not agree. Till knocked him down in the first round with fucking swift ass, fucking daft elbow. Just perfectly placed elbow as like Whittaker dips in, like someone, because they were saying in the commentary, they were like, "There's a tell. There must be something that Darren Till picked up on Robert Whittaker." I'm like, dude, he's dipping heavy every time he's about to strike. He just dips. I'm like, I can see that from my house. Like, there's no way that everybody that's fighting him can't see that dip. And as like when he dips, Till would like throw that elbow, and I'm like, Israel Adesanya, being the taller person, all he did was throw in that like hook or whatever that he had just perfectly timed right there. That's the same spot, but it works perfectly with his height. Like, he read that, and then that gave Darren Till the blueprint on how to beat him. They're like, oh, we didn't expect Darren Till to be so conservative and try to counter-strike. But he just saw what Israel Adesanya did. He just saw the blueprint on how to beat this man. And he was doing pretty good. But Whittaker got Darren Till down, I think, in the third. Beat him up on the ground some bit. But I don't know. I felt like it was real back and forth. I felt like they were even throughout. I felt like it should have been a draw, but they gave a unanimous decision to Robert Whittaker. I guess Darren Till said Robert Whittaker did a knee stomp on him, and it kind of fucked him up, so he couldn't really walk properly for the rest of the fight after in the second round, which is interesting because every time that move happens, it pretty much injures somebody for the next 6 months. And I don't know why they allow that move to continue, but yeah, it's fucked people over, like, pretty much afterwards. I don't know what's going to happen in these divisions. I'm throwing my boy Vettori out there. I want to see my boy Jared Cannonier step up and either fight Darren Till or... No, I don't think he should fight Darren Till. I would like to see Cannonier fight Robert Whittaker, or he should be a backup waiting to fight either Israel or Paulo Costa. I think he beats Paulo Costa. I just think Costa's overrated. And I think Cannonier would beat that ass. Cannonier would beat that nigga ass. That's how I feel. And I'd like to see somebody fight Vettori. I think Vettori is on the come up. He's been on the come up. Everybody knows Vettori's on the come up. I'd like to see one of these guys fight Vettori. Yeah, unless I give you niggas this Dragon Ball rundown. I think that's all I got for you guys. Oh wait, no. I guess I could talk about next week's main event, or next week's fight card. It was supposed to be Holly Holm versus I forget her first name, Aldana. But Aldana tested positive for COVID, so they postponed that fight for now. And the main event now will be Derek Brunson taking on Edmen Shahbazyan. Edmen Shahbazyan, the pupil out of Ronda Rousey's gym, training with Edmen Shahbazyan, who everybody would talk about as like a joke, but like as I was saying, I think I said before, like Edmen Shahbazyan is 11-0 professional, 22-year-old phenom who comes out of that same gym, and everybody was talking about how Taverdian is not a real coach, but like, let's say Edmen goes in there and fucking dusts Derek Brunson off in the first round, like he's done all his other opponents. Let's say that happens. How do you doubt Taverdian? And I asked the question again, dude, just how good was Ronda Rousey? Maybe we spoke too soon. Maybe it all got to her head. She was weak-minded. And that was the whole problem. But, like, I think Ronda could still be in there. I'm not saying she would at some point beat Amanda Nunes. But I think she could still beat, like, pretty much everybody else under there and still have great fucking fights. Could still even have some, like, passing the torch moments. Why wouldn't you want to be out there competing? And, like, at some point you think she would want to, like, up her boxing and get back in there and beat Amanda Nunes. You would think she would want to do that, but I don't know. But we'll see. I think Edmen's going to come in there and dust Brunson off. And then we got another player at 185 coming in next week. So that's a possibility. Also at middleweight, you got my boy Kevin Holland taking on Trevin Giles. It's going to be a pretty good fight there. I would say favorites. I like the guys. I'm a favorite. There's Lando Venata taking on Bobby Green at lightweight. That should be a fucking pretty good fight. Bobby Green recently called out Mike Perry because Mike Perry feels like he has a pass to say nigga because because he said no one's going to do anything about it. So I would like to see Bobby Green fight Mike Perry pretty soon, or maybe after this Lando Venata fight. I think that'd be cool. We got Vicente Luque taking on Randy Brown. I think that's going to be a pretty good fight. Joanne Calderwood stepped up to fight Jennifer Maia in the co-main event. I think that's going to be a pretty good card, actually. I mean, you got Gerald Meerschaert coming in here at light heavyweight. fighting at light heavyweight. All right. I'm gonna look at that. He's fighting some guy named Ed Herman at light heavyweight. Mearshart usually fights at 185, but all right, he's fighting at 205. You might, I don't know, if you don't watch MMA, you might be like, well, what does it matter? It's just 20 pounds, but it's like, they hit a lot harder up there. And it's like, yeah, you probably ain't got to cut as much weight, but they probably do cut weight down from a much heavier weight. And they hit a lot harder up there. So, we'll see, man. Good luck to Gerald. Got Ray Borg taking on some nigga named Nate Maness. Should be cracker. It's going to be a good card next week. Shahbazyan Brunson, good main event. I'm into it. Go ahead and give you guys social medias. If you want to follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter, go ahead to @Babylon5Pod. You can go ahead and follow my personal accounts at My Name's Jermaine. And you can email the podcast at babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can follow this podcast at babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere podcast stream. If you guys got Xbox One, go ahead and add a brother. My gamer tag is SauceBoss414. You can watch me play with myself at twitch.tv/Babylon5. You can check out the merchandise at teespring.com/stores/BOFpod-shop. You can go ahead to patreon.com. Don't be my Negro, be my patron. Go ahead to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod. Go ahead and you can check out the album right now if you want to be my VIP patron. It's there. It's there for your listening pleasures. But this is Jermaine Event, Babylon 5 Podcast, episode 49. I think I'm just going to call it The Grump. Or maybe Thank You. Thank you. Maybe I'll call it that. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead and check out my album. If you're hearing this and it's out, check it out. If it's not, set a reminder in your phone at midnight to check out my album. The Grump by Jermaine Event, produced by Mike Regal. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear your masks. And just be kind to each other. Show empathy. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next week. I hope you guys love the album. And, see you for episode 50. You guys be good. Peace.